Hello and welcome, everyone. We are back with the, well, it's just me and Shadow again.
Yes, it is.
And, so, when we last left off on our Let's Play of Spyro the Dragon 1 for the PS1, that I am using a PS3 controller for, we bested Dark Passage and Crystal Flight and the Dreamweaver's Homeworld. Alright, Shadow, you picked out that we did Dark Passage last time, so I will pick our next level. We are going to go to Lofty Castle.
Yay!
And I actually remember what the levels are this time. Woot! Lofty Castle, Haunted Towers, and J'accuse. Look at all the treasure we have.
Lots and lots of treasure.
Alright, Lofty Castle. Dear God, this place. This is supposedly the second level in this world, but I tend to do Lofty Castle first over Dark Passage because this place is, although not entirely difficult, really, really weird. You know how last time we had the lantern fools that made everything grow big while it was dark? That was a question, Mr. Shadow.
Yes, I noticed. Yes, go on.
Well, here, one, I just died. And here we have pretty much the world of fantasy exploded all over the place.
That's what I've noticed.
Yeah. Orcs that hover on spotted balloons for some reason.
Because they do that.
Our demon cupids are back, though. But yes, Lofty Castle. It's pretty much the closest that you're ever gonna get to a Prince Charming scenario without ever actually being in Prince Charming. As a general rule, everything in this particular level can be flamed, which is actually a very good thing because, well, you don't really want to be charging around everywhere. The level is not really designed well for charging around everywhere. There's a lot of narrow platforms. Most of the areas that you need to get to require at least some amount of gliding, and all in all, this can be a very difficult level if you're, well, haven't really played up to this point.
Yes, it looks like it's a very easy place to die in.
Bottomless pits everywhere, lots of different projectile attacks. And the prequel to one of the most annoying supercharged puzzles in the game.
But they have to come from somewhere.
Yeah, but the prequels didn't, actually. Because, again, treetops. My god, treetops. I still hold true that treetops has got the most difficult, of the supercharged puzzles, mainly because it has multiples of them.
It's give and take.
So what have you been up to recently, Shadow?
Well, not too much. I'm supposed to be going to a tournament tomorrow.
Woot.
My deck actually has been doing rather well.
What are you running?
It is it's an anti-meta deck.
Okay. We talking anti-meta rock stun or?
It's pretty much just a control deck.
Okay.
Does a really good job of controlling the game. The only thing about it is it's just not as fast as I would like it to be because there are much faster decks that lock me out too quickly.
Yeah.
As I noticed last weekend when I was playing dragons for the first time in tournament.
No, what were they? Chaos dragons or?
The elemental dragon.
Ellie dragons. Ellie dragons. IRL. A lot of people are having trouble getting their hands on each of the Ellie dragons. Making my friend No Dogs convinced that they are of limited quantity in their print.
The elemental dragons themselves aren't really that hard to get. Most of them are like commons and rares. It's the side deck that costs the most.
Yes. But No Dogs actually has a large portion of the side deck. Well, maybe not a large portion, but you know, he's got Big Eye. He doesn't have Drago, or I think he had Big Eye. One of the two.
My friend actually called me today and asked me, because he actually just pulled a Draco sack today. He actually asked me to look up the price on it. It's actually gone down a little bit.
To?
About 160.
So was it 200 at some point?
Yes, it was at 200.
Oh, God. I knew that Big Eye had hit 150, but I was really hoping that I knew that Dragosec was gonna be really high. What's Judgment Day at right now? Cause Jesus.
I'm not sure, but I know it has to at least be 100.
Yeah, Judgment Day is still pissing me off. I even made an entire video just blasting at Judgment Day, and it's still pissing me off. I'm also trying to get myself away from Dueling Network because, in all seriousness, I really can't stand a lot of the people that I find on Dueling Network. I had a guy a couple days ago tell me that he could use Blade Armor Ninja's effect in the battle phase, and then have no idea what ignition effects actually were. It was very sad, and I cried a little on the inside.
You mean that there's people that know what ignition effects do?
Yes, there are people that do know what ignition effects do and when you can activate them. I just can't seem to find them some days. Ouch, I have been biffed.
In Konami's defense, they don't really explain effects well enough.
That's actually against them now, because now they're the ones that are running the rule books. It used to be Upper Deck, remember?
Right. And they didn't do a very good job either.
Well, when Upper Deck was running it, the game was way simpler, so...
It was simpler.
I would like to see what Upper Deck would say about one of my favorite ruling arguments, the difference between Legendary Fisherman and any of the Earthbound Immortals. Oh, I love bringing up that argument, because no matter what people tell me, I am never satisfied with that with the reasoning that I get.
What do they usually say?
I don't actually. I'm pretty sure the reasoning that I end up getting all the damn time is because Konami says so, and I'm like, okay, why did they say this?
Yes, give some explanation behind the ruling.
Now, for those of you that are unaware of what I am talking about, I shall go into slight detail. Legendary Fisherman and Guardian KS are untargetable for attacks, assuming certain conditions are met. For Guardian KS, it's as long as she's face up on the field, and for Legendary Fisherman, it's as long as Yumi is on the field. Thing is, according to an older Upper Deck ruling, while they are most certainly not targetable for attacks, that they do not incur the "while I have a monster you cannot directly attack me" clause. What this means, my fair fellow Yu-Gi-Oh players and such and sorta, it means that as long as I have a Legendary Fisherman, Yumi, and no other monsters on the field, you can declare direct attacks on me, and I can't call you out on it. Nobody remembers this rule because of the Earthbound Immortals. The Earthbound Immortals are ruled totally differently. As long as you have an Earthbound Immortal on your side of the field, it fills the "I have a monster so you can't directly attack me" clause.
I guess the only time where it might be an applicable situation is if you have Tornado Wall on the field.
How so?
Because if they attack, then they are not doing any damage anyway.
Right.
That's the only time where I could see that really making any difference.
But that's, you know, with the addition of another card, and we're missing 3 gem pieces. Oh
Right.
God.
Where could they be at?
Okay, phew. I was pretty sure I wasn't going to make that. That is,
That
in
was a
fact,
very
the
close
question
one.
at the moment, because I have no idea.
They are hiding. And very well.
Alright, we're gonna take a pause break while I try and find these. We'll be right back. Okay, I ended up being a dumbass and skipping over the 3 rubies that were here, and I collected them off screen. Sorry, guys. But with that, we have a 100%ed Lofty Castle.
We have.
Alright, and because we're already almost 11 minutes in, I'm going to use the cheap tactic that I showed off earlier. Exit level button is awesome.
Yay for cheap tactics.
Alright, Shadow, there are 2 levels left, and it's up to you to pick out which one we're going to. Your options are between GAH's, the boss level, and Haunted Towers, please no.
So let's go with Jacques.
Alright, 2 GAH's. Jacques. With the, you know, molten mountains in the background, because...
Of course.
Because it's a boss level, it has to look epic. Alright, the longest boss level in the game, and also technically one of the most annoying. Specifically because the fool mechanic is back. And also, this is the only level in the game where these type of enemies are here. These are pretty much just ghouls. I don't really know how else to describe them, but as ghouls. We have armored ghouls and female ghouls.
Which is kind of funny when you think of, like, what in mythology ghouls are. They pretty much are just the living dead.
Yep. Now we're gonna get those so we don't miss them now.
And depending on mythology, vampires actually bring ghouls, make people ghouls and not actually vampires.
Yep.
Depending on the...
Depending on which sect of mythology, which mythology you study.
Yep. So take that, Twihards.
Really? Are we still trying to insult the people that like Twilight?
I just had to.
Okay. It's understandable if it's like a compulsive need to insult the franchise, but come on. As far as I understand, the last movie is not actually that bad.
The only thing that sort of bothers me about Twilight is the fact that the first 2 books are directed towards teenage girls, whereas the last 2 are very adult in their description.
Well, that kind of is actually on purpose, so it doesn't surprise me so much. Alright, one of the most dickiest moves about the GAH's levels, this fool right here. You flame him and you don't actually see anything happening, right? Well, that is because he interacts with this particular fool, who raises this one, and that fool over there lowers this. This is the only way to get over to this dragon. Sorry, Unica, I don't actually care about what you say. Good news, guys, there are a total of 10 dragons left. So yes, we are very, very close to being done with this game now. And I will miss this game when I am done with it, just like I always miss this game when I'm done with it.
But you'll move on to bigger and better games.
Bigger games, perhaps, not necessarily better. You see, I adore this game. I really do. Spyro 1 and Spyro 3 are like two of my top 10 favorite platformers of all time.
Now, what I always found interesting is how this started out on the PlayStation format, and then it kind of got switched to Nintendo.
No, if you recall, Skylanders. Well, I will give you that. What was it? The last Spyro game before Skylanders. Was it Dawn? Was it Dawn of the Dragon?
It might have been.
I think it was Dawn of the Dragon. I'm not sure. This damn section is actually screwing me over too much. Yeah. That was actually multi-platform.
Yes, quite a few of the newer ones, especially, have been.
And
like
I did play Dawn of the Dragon on the Wii. And I have to say that I did enjoy what I played, but but that entire trilogy, because it is technically a trilogy of games, is nothing like the original, the Naughty Dog trilogy. And technically, the Naughty Dog trilogy does have a fourth game, but it's not run by Naughty Dog, so nobody remembers it. It's Spyro Enter the Dragonfly on the PS2, and I can't finish it. I can't actually even devote myself to playing it. Whereas these games have always been about the collectathon.
Yeah.
My 100% nature demands that I collect everything in the level, and Ripto's Rage also screws me over a bit when it comes to this. I cannot sit down and actually try and 100% a few of the levels in Enter the Dragonfly because of how spacious and just how difficult the levels can actually be with their large size, and I should not have saved there, but oh well. Yeah. But yeah, I don't like Enter the Dragonfly. Matter of fact, nobody does as far as I've seen.
Yeah, I've never really heard any good reviews on it.
Which is a shame, too, because it's technically the last of the Naughty Dog games. It's the last of The Legend of Spyro.
Naughty Dog always
Spyro
has
the
very
Dragon,
interesting
Legend
games.
Of Legend of Spyro is the other trilogy, Hero's Tale and so on. Okay, now we have the boss fight. Let's see if you guys can hear this.
Any advice before this battle?
Advice? A wise dragon once told me, aim high in life, but watch out for flying foxes.
I love that line. I really do. I apologize, Shadow, for you being unable to hear it, but I can't actually get that to work. So, what he said, Shadow, because you were unable to hear it, is aim high in life, but watch out for flying boxes.
A very, very clever line.
Yes. A wise dragon once told me, ain't high in life, but watch out for flying boxes.
A philosophy to live by.
Yes.
Almost makes me want to watch out for flying
crap.
boxes. Oh. Good save, though. Good save.
Yes. I didn't notice that this was a crescent shape. Huh. And with that, we have Bested Jack Hughes. Now, you guys are probably wondering where the rest of the 240 treasure is. Believe it or not, most of it is at the end of this damn boss fight. Oh look, 100. No, oh look, 100 treasure from here. And 75 more. Ah, crap! We're still missing 65 treasure. Did I not?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Yeah, there is in fact a spot that I missed. Okay, back this way. Ugh. Well, since Shadow told us about what his plans are for the weekend, I will share with you guys what I have planned for my weekend. Trying to pick out the game for the next podcast of awesomeness.
Sounds like a good idea.
That's literally all I've got planned, though. It's kind of depressing.
Gerdat and I actually did a recording for the podcast of Awesomeness right before this.
Yep.
And he showed his devotion to this game by saying how much he actually played it.
Yes. You'll be amazed and absolutely flabbergasted about how much I played the game for the random podcast of Awesomeness. It may even make you wonder, how could you possibly play more of this game?
Now I may or may not actually go to my grandmother's this weekend. We normally do for a cookout, but I shall see.
Oh, damn it. Yes. First time I've actually screwed up one of the full sections by not cheesing it out.
You were fooled.
And let's
Is that
see.
the rest of it?
I think that's at least 50. Yep, that's everything. Alright. And we will not cheap out this time. We will actually go into the exit. I should cheap out because we're already, we're already past 20 minutes. Oy. So instead of actually finishing Dreamweavers this time like I wanted to, but knew I couldn't because Jack Hughes and Lofty Castle take me a while, we will instead next time be finishing up with Dreamweavers with my least favorite level in the world.
I guess it's best to end it that way.
God, I hate that level. Specifically because it's the level that ended up making me rage quit the game for so damn long. It was the only level I could not 100%, and I couldn't figure out why. But we have 10,000 treasure.
We do.
Alright, guys. With that, this has been Gerdat14 and Shadow Wolf attempt to play Spyro the Dragon 1 on the PS1 with guests.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening indeed. Have a good night and be safe.